Hey, guess what? The Democrats want to impeach President Donald Trump again. Listen.
This is Congressman Shri Thanedar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy, but defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump.
I know what you're thinking. Is this a Saturday Night Live sketch? No, even though that guy does look a lot like Chris Kattan. This is an actual Democrat congressman from Michigan who just introduced articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump.
The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive due process. Trump ignored it. He ignored the Constitution. He ignored the very checks and balances that keep our democracy intact.
I'm not really sure what he's referring to because President Donald Trump has not ignored the Supreme Court order. The Supreme Court specifically said that President Donald Trump and the United States of America must facilitate the return of Abrego Garcia. If and when El Salvador decides to release him from the maximum security prison that he's in, they will put him on a plane and bring him back to the United States. However, there's a deportation order in effect, so if and when that ever happens, he'll just be deported again, but probably not back home to his home country of El Salvador, probably to someplace really cool like Syria.
This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern. That's why today, I introduced a resolution to impeach Donald J. Trump, outlining 7 articles of impeachment.
7 articles of impeachment, not one, not just he defied the Supreme Court, but 7 articles of impeachment. Apparently, in his first 100 days of his second administration, the Democrats believe President Donald Trump committed 7 atrocities that demand impeachment. Here they are.
Article 1. Obstruction of justice and abuse of executive power.
Okay, I've heard the obstruction one before. That one never actually sticks.
From denying due process to unlawful deportations, Trump defied court orders.
The deportations are not unlawful, and President Donald Trump did not deny anyone due process. President Donald Trump isn't a lawyer or a court. He simply deported people who had broken the law and were here illegally. He used the Alien Enemies Act, which is an actual rule of law. And when the Supreme Court said stop doing that, he stopped doing that. I mean, he's still deporting people. He's just not using the Alien Enemies Act.
Article 2. Taking away Congress's power of the purse. Trump dismantled agencies and froze funds without permission from Congress. Article 3.
By the way, these large pauses in between leads me to believe that he's reading off of a teleprompter and the teleprompter is moving very slowly, or maybe he's waiting for Google Translate to let him know what to say. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm going to leave the pauses in. This is totally unedited.
Abuse of trade powers and international aggression. He imposed damaging tariffs and threatened military invasions of our allies.
Again, I don't know if this guy's ever read the Constitution, or maybe something gets lost in translation from his native tongue, but impeachment in the United States of America is reserved for treason, bribery, and high crimes and misdemeanors. And imposing tariffs are none of those things. Threatening military action is none of those things. Those all fall well within the purview, the rights, and the responsibilities of the executive branch.
Article 4. Violation of First Amendment rights. He has retaliated against journalists, attorneys, and critics for exercising their right to free speech.
I'm not really sure what he's referring to here. It could be the lawsuits that Donald Trump has levied against people who have smeared him and propagandized against him and just downright lied about him in the press. He did sue ABC News for defamation and won. $15 million they paid out of pocket because George Snuffleupagus told a blatant lie about President Donald Trump and smeared his character. Right to free speech, for freedom of the press, that doesn't allow you to attack anybody and make up lies about their criminal backgrounds and their records. And that doesn't mean that Donald Trump, being the president of the United States, can't use the same court system to get himself any kind of relief. And that's exactly what he did. And the court sided with him.
Article 5. creation of an unlawful office establishing the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, and giving Elon Musk unconstitutional power over our government and personal data.
What is an unlawful office? I know what a law office is. That's where lawyers work. There's tons of them around here. Morgan & Morgan, Farrah & Farrah. But what is an unlawful office? And why is DOGE unlawful? And why is it unconstitutional for President Donald Trump to hire Elon Musk as an advisor and a consultant? And what personal data did Elon Musk get his hands on? And why is that unconstitutional? I don't remember anything in the Constitution about Social Security numbers because guess what? There was no Social Security when the Constitution was written. You know what there were? Tariffs.
Article 6, bribery and corruption. He has dismissed criminal cases and solicited payments from foreign governments and coerced legal settlements for personal and political gain.
That's a hard swallow, that was a hard swallow. I don't know if you heard that one. But that guy, I don't know if he's getting nervous. I don't know if he's like, I wonder if anyone's going to call me out on these lies, but he's definitely uncomfortable with what he's doing.
Article 7, tyrannical overreach.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. What was that one?
Tyrannical overreach.
Tyrannical overreach. Oh, tyrannical overreach. Oh, okay. So I got it. Tyrannical overreach. I got it.
Finally, and most importantly, he is attempting to consolidate unchecked power and erode the constitutional limits of the presidency. In this country, we have presidents, not kings. That's not just misconduct, it's impeachable misconduct.
Again, I would revert back to the Constitution, and in the Constitution, there's nothing about impeachable misconduct. There's treason, bribery, high crimes, and misdemeanors. All of these things, by the way, that he's presenting, all 7 of these things, the oppressive tariffs, the dismantling of government agencies, the tyrannical ovaries, overreach, ovaries, it's one or the other. All of that stuff he's putting forward without any evidence because, of course, there is no evidence of any of this.
Isn't leadership, is tyranny. If we let this stand, we are saying the president is above the law, that the United States Constitution is optional. I won't be silent, and I'm calling on all my colleagues, Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, to stand up with me. Enough is enough. Donald J. Trump must be impeached.
This is comical to me for several reasons. I mean, there's the obvious reasons, the hair and the accent, but also don't the Democrats remember that they twice impeached President Donald Trump and twice they failed to remove him from office? And back then they actually had the majority in the House of Representatives. Now there is no Democrat majority in the House of Representatives. There's no Democrat majority anywhere. These articles of impeachment are going to go nowhere. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, will never bring them up on the floor. There will be no investigations. This is the case of just one dude from Michigan trying to grandstand and go viral on the eve of President Donald Trump's first 100 days in office. He's lying about things President Donald Trump has done just the way Adam Schiff did. Adam Schiff, by the way, was censured by the House of Representatives for lying about things Donald Trump had done when he didn't do them at all. Donald Trump said nothing that Adam Schiff claimed he did. And when Adam Schiff tried to put it into the record of the House of Representatives during the impeachment trial the first time around, he was censured by his peers. But in California, apparently that gets you a raise because they just turned around and made him a senator. Oh, maybe that's what this guy's trying to do. Maybe instead of Congressman Chris Kattan, he's trying to be Senator Chris Kattan. If you enjoyed even a little teeny tiny piece of this video, do both of us a favor. Hit like, subscribe, set those notifications so you can get more of our great content whenever we release it to the world. Hit like, subscribe, and set those notifications. Do it right now.